Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. I have a sweet Slimline card featuring Birthday Dinosaur from the Monster Birthday Collection by Spellbinders. This collection has some adorable characters, but this one is definitely at the top of my list. Birthday Dinosaur is so sweet I had to do her in triplicate. Lots of die cutting for this card. The dinosaur was done up 3 times, basically using 3 shades of pink cardstock. To assemble, I started off by inlaying the eyeball. On the back side of the dinosaur die cut, I place a little bit of Scotch tape. This will secure the white circle die cut to the head. A dot of adhesive is used to adhere the pupil to the eyeball. The dinosaur, its legs, and back plate were cut from each of the 3 shades of pink cardstock. Back plates were interchanged so that each dinosaur had a different color than its body. Although difficult to see in this video, the back plates that I've adhered to this dinosaur is a darker shade. If you want to add a feminine touch to these dinosaurs, then on go these long lashes. Such a sweet detail. I've die cut the 2 legs that will sit at the back of the body in the same color of cardstock as the body itself. For more depth, you definitely could go a shade darker. Each leg has score lines. The leg that has score lines shaped like a mountain will sit behind the back leg. To position it, the score lines are matched up with the underside of the body and the front of the leg. The second leg has a diagonal score line that is lined up to the underside of the neck. This dinosaur is super easy to assemble. Now for the head wreath. Base and sprigs were cut from mint cardstock, and the die with 3 flowers was cut from each of the pink shades of cardstock. The flowers were interchanged so that there would be 3 different colors of flowers on each of the head wreaths. And the little flowers are finished off with black cardstock flower centers. There are 4 sprigs that are added to the head wreath. I've placed the 2 larger ones on either end of the head wreath with the 2 smaller ones in the center. And then the head wreath is adhered to the top of the dinosaur's head. And isn't that just absolutely adorable? The sentiment for this card is from Monster Birthday Sentiments. It was stamped with black VersaFine ink on the lightest pink cardstock. I'm using this in conjunction with the sentiment label die set. The sentiment die in this set coordinates perfectly with the Monster Birthday Sentiment stamp set. The label die was used to cut gold cardstock and the sentiment adhered to it. Sentiment label was finished off with some green brads that coordinate with the mint cardstock on the head wreath. The little tabs have been bent over and I'm just using a little bit of Scotch tape to hold them in place. For the card front, I'm using cream cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 8 3/4 inches. The panel is embossed using Floral and Vine 3D embossing folder and then adhered to a card base the same size as the panel. To make sure that the card front is going to be nice and secure to the card base, I do put some weight on it for a few minutes until the glue sets. I've laid out the dinosaurs temporarily so that I can position the sentiment in the center lower portion of the card front. Then the dinosaurs are laid out again on the card front with their little tails overlapping the dinosaur's body beside it. And I can go ahead and add liquid adhesive to each one and adhere them. Because they're being adhered to that uneven surface of the embossed background, after they're in place, I do add a little bit of weight on top. I'm using my Misty to make sure that there's good contact between the dinosaur and the card front. There are some adorable etched details that are found on the back of the dinosaur and on the top of the head. I wanted to highlight them with white Nouveau Crystal drops, but the actual droplets from the dispenser would be too large. I've placed some of the medium on a scrap piece of cardstock and then I'm using my craft pick to pick up little dollops of this and placing it in the etch details. This fun little detail is not as time-consuming as you might think. That completes this sweet Slimline birthday card featuring Birthday Dinosaur from Spellbinder's Monster Birthday Collection. I love working with sweet little characters, and this one is adorable. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I appreciate your visit.